What is up, agents, and welcome back to another Division build video. Today we are going to look at something that is all hazard protection with some new pieces of gear that has been added to the game over the last few seasons. Just before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and hit the bell so you are notified when I upload more Division videos. Even better, come on over to Twitch and hit follow. I could be streaming live right now. And if you need a community Discord or any help whatsoever with the Division, you'll find the link down below in the description. And with all that out the way, let's get started. So first of all, let's take a look at the specialization that I'm using. And if you don't understand why when I talk about hazard protection build, I'm using some of the stuff, don't worry, it will all come together in the end. So for this one, we are going to be using sharpshooter. We're going to make sure we are spec'd into marksman rifle damage, and we are also going to make sure we are spec'd into shotgun damage. The reason we're going into marksman as well is we get the weapon stability, reduced recoil and faster reacquisition of targets in here as well. And we get some increased headshot damage, which, you know, we can't go wrong with, but it's only for rifles and for marksman rifles. So let's take a look at the build. So here we are. So bear with me while I explain what it's for and what I do with it, but it will all come together in the end. So first of all, we're going to start off with our paratrooper SVD. This is really just for damage dealing. You can see here marksman rifle damage, headshot damage, damage to target out to cover, and we've got optimist on there. You can use whatever talent you want in here, whatever you feel comfortable with using, maybe rifleman or something like that as well. All really good talents. Just go with whatever you're comfortable with. When you see the mod, it's a bit bouncy, so I have got some stability in here, some crit chance, some rounds, and some crit chance here. 2 crit chance mods for a total of 10%. Because we are at max crit chance, but I'll show you that all in a minute. Then the Scorpio, I've got this all the way up to expertise level 21. It's just an absolute beast. It does everything that you need. It poisons them, it disorientates them, it shocks them. And they take extra additional 20% damage when you get to 7 stacks. So good. Now, I use this build in the Iron Horse raid, but it's also good in countdown. So the hunters can be an absolute nightmare with skills and things like that. This just alleviates all that and takes all that stress away when you're trying to do it on heroic. In Iron Horse, you can use it on the 3rd encounter. You're completely immune from all the fire, the shock, anything like that, the splooge. You're completely immune from it all. And also when running to the very last boss through Splooge Alley, you're completely immune. You can zip all the way down and never get tied up by any of the formers. So first of all, let's take a look at the pieces that we all know and love and that we've seen for a long time in the game. So I've got some Jarl gloves here. One piece gives us 10% hazard protection. I've gone with armor, hazard protection and critical hit chance. Really nice. These can be pretty tough to get hold of, but you can craft a Jarl mask if you've got the blueprint, so you could always switch these round. You could go with a Uzina gloves instead and go with the Jarl mask if you want to craft it, instead of trying to get your luck in the DZ, because Jarl gear, if you've not been able to pick it up from, you know, a chest or in a vendor, it's pretty hard to come by because not a lot lots of people like farming in the DZ. 2 bottom ones, really easy to get. They're to Seska, and these again can be anywhere. The only 2 that are not interchangeable brand wise is the chest and the backpack. So you could have a Seska mask, for instance, and a Seska holster. You could then have a Uzina knees and then keep the Jarl gloves, or vice versa. You could have Jarl knee pads and a Seska glove. So whichever way around you want, it all works. Just get the stats in the same places and you'll be absolutely fine. So let's look at the Seska holster. I've kept this as a red core, crit chance and hazard protection. 2-piece Seska gives us critical hit chance and hazard protection as well. Really nice. Looking at the knees, same again. Weapon damage, crit chance and hazard protection. When I'm in with the boss fight in Iron Horse, 4 blue cores is just enough, and I like living life on the edge. I want to put as much damage into this as well. If you wanted to go for even more safety, you could go for 5 blue cores just to be absolutely certain that you are going to be okay. Moving on, let's take a look at the 3 Xena pieces. So let's start with the mask. You can see here I've got some armor regen, hazard protection and crit chance. The armor regen is done on purpose, basically so that when I'm stood still holding buttons and things like that, if I've been hit a little bit or some of the hazards have taken some life off me, the armor regen is going to just make me have that slow little tick to get all of my armor back. Again, with this, you could take another set of crit damage out of the build and go 2 armor regen if you really wanted to. Totally up to you, depends on what you're going to be using it for. So for instance, here on the gloves, you can see here the crit chance, so I can't do anything with that one. We can't do anything with this one here, but we can't do anything with this one. But on the chest, could we? Yeah. So on the chest, you can see here I've got hazard protection. This crit hit damage, I could take that out and put a full armor regen in here, lose a bit of damage, but then gain even more survivability. So, you know, take that or leave it. Just roll it how you feel more comfortable. So we've got the closer named chest piece. We're keeping the core attribute as blue this time around, so not as much of a unicorn to farm. You just basically need to get hazard protection, crit hit damage, and crit hit damage, or maybe crit hit chance. If one of your other pieces has crit hit damage on, you might be swapping them rolls around a little bit. Perfect spotter, really good as well. And as you can see here, we're using the tactician drone, which I'll go over in a minute, which makes spotter work all of the time as well. For the backpack, again, we're going for the named Xena backpack. We have got perfectly opportunistic. Enemies you hit take 15% more damage from all sources for 5 seconds. But this is only activated if you're using a marksman and the shotgun, and that's why we're using the 2 weapons that we are using. 3-piece Xena gives us 5% total armor, which is nice for this build. 10% armor on kill, again nice for this build, and 10% hazard protection. All the things really that we want for survivability, damage, and you know, all along with getting some extra armor, that 5% as well. Considering running 4 blues, it's really nice. So then we're going to run the tactician drone, which we get exclusively from running the TAC 50 signature weapon. And when you go into it, you can see it's over there. And if we look at the mods, so we've got no yellows on this, but we can again use the mods here from Sharpshooter, and we get 15% duration, 20% scan range as well. The last mod doesn't really matter, but you know, these are huge considering we haven't got any skill tiers. You know, to get to 20 we'd have to be skill tier 4, and yet we get this, you know, well, 20% more rather, not 20 meters more, but 20% is a long way, and it fills the arena in the boss fight. So as long as you put the drone in the middle, it fills the arena, which means everything's pulsed. Therefore spotter and your damage is really good. Then I'm using the decoy just because I don't want anything to hit me, but again, you can put revive hive on here, whatever you want, it's totally up to you. I just use this again in the raid fights to make it really easy, and I'll put some footage of that at the end. So let's take a look at the stats. So I'm on 60% crit chance, 81% crit damage, and 146% headshot damage, which is absolutely beautiful. Again, with the shotgun, 60, 91, and 65. There's some armor damage as well. Absolutely beautiful. All really good stats. And it just works really well. I am interested to see what else I can do with these 3 Xenas with some other builds. I am looking into some other builds, so do stay tuned for them. I'll put some footage of the Iron Horse fight at the end, so you can just see that I only take damage from the hazards. I don't actually take any, you know, you can just run through them. You don't actually take any, you don't stop or get shocked or anything like that. And as you can see here, look, 100% hazard protection, bleed, blind, deaf, burn, disorient, disrupt, ensnare, poison, shock, no problem whatsoever. You only have to get, I think, to 98% to be completely resistant as well, so just bear that in mind. If you're not completely optimized, you don't have to get to 198% is enough. I'll put the footage at the end, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really would help me out. That subscriber grind is tough. I really do appreciate all the support. Don't forget to come over to Twitch and say hi. I could be live right now. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.